Hello, Cancer. Mars is sextile the moon on the 6th of January. And Mars is also parallel the moon, your ruling planet, on the 14th. So, let's see how your ruling planet, the moon, its full aspect, and its new moon aspect, let's see how that's going to affect you in January. I'm Pastor Rosemary. Thank you for joining us. Okay, now this is an angelic horoscope transmission from your ruling angel, your Cancer angel Muriel, who resides over your cardinal water nature. And here are his transmissions for you in love, money, and health. Now first, a love transmission. Okay, Cancer, this month is actually going to be very difficult for other people. It's not going to be as difficult for you. That's because your aspects are not so difficult. Your parallel with Mars will give you a little taste of the blood moons that are coming down the line in 2015. And we have a Cancer 2015, year of the sheep, the year that the sheep and the goats are separated by the Lord God Almighty. So you might want to look at your Cancer 2015 video that we've loaded up for you, because it gets into it about the blood moons in 2015. It'd be important for you. Okay. So it'll give you a little taste of that. But it's not going to be as difficult as what people are going to experience who have difficult aspects with Mars and Saturn, because there's a Mars square Saturn on the 15th. There's some other difficult aspects between Mars and Jupiter on the 1st as well. So just have a heads up that Aries and Scorpio individuals who are by Mars are going to be having some contentious times, and there may be some difficulties with Sagittarius individuals, Pisces individuals, not with you, but with people who have the ruling planet of Mars. Now, it will be important for you to find out where your Mars is, because if your Mars is in Leo or Aries for that matter, you may have difficulty, even if it's in Capricorn or Aquarius, because it's ruled by Saturn. So you might want to find out where your moon is, since you're more of a feeling type person. You might want to find out, where your moon is and where your Mars is. If your sun sign is in Cancer, it won't be as difficult for you. So just pay attention to some of those. Because remember, your moon is your emotions, your Mars is how you deal with people that are coming at you in a combative nature. And in your love issues this month, that's going to be what comes up for you. Okay? Now on the 5th, or the 4th and the 5th, that's the full moon. That's the wolf moon, when lonely hearts are going to be crying at the moon. They're going to be coming and crying to you about their problems. People that are lonely are going to come at you because someone's hurt them. So you want to be aware of that. And they're going to be a little crazy. So you want to stay away from people that are coming onto you in odd ways, or ways that don't seem trustworthy. People that aren't stable, people who just come at you every now and then when they're lonely. You want to be careful of that, both on the new moon and the full moon. Now on the wolf moon, the full moon, on the 4th and 5th, people will do things that are a little bit more crazy, so it's maybe a little more dangerous actually, because people will be more depressed that are in this mode. Not you, but other people will be more depressed on the new moon, which is from the 19th to the 21st. On the 19th, the new moon is in Capricorn, and she's going to leave and go into Aquarius on the 20th and remain there for the 3 days of darkness on the 21st. You hear in the Bible often about the 3 days of darkness. That's about the moon. That's what that's about. And that's associated with various aspects of some of the disciples of Christ, and also with Mother Mary. Okay, So, what you want to understand is that it's going to be in Aquarius when she's at her most darkest time, because it's at a 2% light when it's in Capricorn on the 19th. When the new moon goes into Aquarius, is 1% light on the 20th, and then on the 21st again 2% light. So that's the 3 days of darkness. So be aware of that. People will be feeling empty, drained of all their light. So you want, especially during the evening, of course, and the night, so you want to be aware that they don't understand the dark aspects as well as you do. But again, you don't want them to take advantage of you. Now, people won't be as dangerous as they will on the 4th and 5th, because the full moon, again, they're more crazy. People do tend to do harmful things to themselves and others when they are more anxious around the 4th and the 5th. Not so much when they're depressed, which would occur more around the new moon time. Now, there's a lot of other things happening at that time, but for you, that's the things to pay attention to. Okay, now some people are going to want to steal your love, steal your significant other, your love, your spouse, whatever. You're going to want to steal that person just simply for the purpose of adding to the number of people in their entourage, the people that they think or they want in love with them. Okay? Not because they actually care about this person. So be aware of that. And you don't really have to get too defensive, because that'll pass. Just maybe give a heads up, to your significant other that that's going to be occurring ahead of time. And then when it happens, they'll understand and you'll understand. Okay, so these people who are wanting them on their side and, wanting them to fall in love with them, who are going to be doing that this month, want to steal away your significant other, those people are not going to want anything because of quality. They're going to want because of quantity, numbers. Be aware of that. Now, in money matters, your aspects this month that we've mentioned are going to affect your money. People are going to be coming after you for money. They want funding. They want to fund various pipelines of their businesses. So they're really going to be coming after you for funding. They're going to get very upset if you don't do it. They're going to try everything in the book. They're going to try to come at you this way and that way. Do you react to, if I'm mean to you? Do you react if I'm nice to you? Do you react if I'm seductive? Do you react if I'm intelligent? How can I get you to react and give me money? That's what people are going to be doing. Advertisers, but also family, friends, people, associates, people who really don't know what else to do. They're going to think, okay, you're a soft touch, you're a soft heart, we're going to come at you. So just be aware of that. In health matters, okay, Cancer, in health matters, you're going to get drained by your significant other. Because you, like people, and this will affect your health. See how it can affect your money and your health. You know how they're all tied up, but we're trying to keep it so that, categorized. Okay, so that was a buzzword this month. Okay, health matters. What it means is that the people that you are in a significant romantic relationship, or even if it's just your family, but whoever your significant relationship is going to want to utilize your talents to make them money. And that's fine, but just make sure that you're not too oppressed. Because oppression is something that makes you feel safe. You're drawn to oppressive people, people who control and oppress you. They love you, but you're drawn to people who express love in oppressive, controlling ways. That's what you're drawn to. And you feed that beast in them. Now, they're going to want you to make money. And that may, if it becomes too controlling or too oppressive oppressive for you. It's not good for them. It's not good for you. Because their controlling behavior will, you know, it kind of shuts down a lot of the peripheral vascularity. It affects the skin and the hair and you know, it's not good for them. But the oppression for you can tend to cause you to become obsessive in trying to please them and being concerned that they're not pleased with you. And in your feeling oppressed, it can cause you to, you know, shut down various areas, you know, causing your adrenals to get drained because you're doing too much. And when your adrenals are drained and you start to produce, if you get nervous and scared, then it produces too much cortisol. And then you just get drained. And that's really not good for you. So you want to be very careful of all of that. So just be aware of some of these highlights. Again, this month is going to be easier for you and for, you know, water signs in general. You know, it'll be easier for you than your fellow water sign Scorpio, for example, who's ruled by Mars, because Mars is really going to be having some hard aspects. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be having heavy conflicts. It could get very bad. It's really not going to affect you that much. So don't get too frightened, because too much fear affects the kidneys and too much insecurity affects the spleen. All right? And your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys. So you don't want to have all, you know, fears and worries and oppressions and fretting draining all these areas, because eventually all those, you know, like blockage to the spleen will affect your heart. You know, that comes from ruminating too much, thinking too much, obsessing. Okay. Now just for a bit of an afterglow, just to remind you of your highlights. Remember, on the 6th, Mars is sextile the moon in a Mars cycle on the 6th of January. On the 14th of January, Mars is parallel the moon, your ruling planet, the moon, in a Mars cycle. So again, this will kind of help you understand what's going to come down the pike when it comes to the blood moons that are coming in 2015. So pay attention to your 2015 Year of the Sheep, Cancer horoscope that we put up, you know, put one for everybody. So pay attention to yours. And there is going to be Mars squaring Saturn on the 15th, when people who feel that they have not had power because they didn't have maybe the weapons they needed to, you know, whoever that may be, whether it's individuals or countries or clans or groups or whoever, this is where it could get kind of dicey on the 15th. And things don't happen always on that day, but it's like when you throw a pebble in the pond and there's ripples. That's how time stamps are, but these things do happen. Now, is it predestined? It's predestined, the generalities are predestined. However, just like a clockmaker makes a clock and it's all set, because all the planets, it's just God's clock. That's all it is. It's a time, it's a clock that God made, that we're in. Okay? Now, but does God give you the controls of your clock? Yes. You can move the clock around and set alarms or not set alarms. You can move it back, move it forward. You understand, you have some control. Control isn't a good word, but you have ways to deal with it. And our time is what we all agreed to. So, what's the point? The point is that Christ told Peter he would hold true in heaven what Peter held true on earth. And that is very important, because that means what we do here on earth matters. Because what we do here on earth is held true in heaven. So remember that, and you'll understand that now we have what I'm terming today, I'm going to coin this, interactive astrology. Okay, this is interactive astrology because it just doesn't tell us what we're going to do. Of course, we have awesome regard for the planets set in motion because it's God's tools. However, we are an aspect of the universe. We are an entire holographic aspect. We are one shard. And the entire universe is within us. And what we do matters, and what you do matters, and how we relate to each other. Thank you, Cancer. Thank you for joining us. And join us again next month.